All right, here are notes for section 7.2, proportion, properties, and problem solving. Our objectives: number 1, use properties of proportions to write equivalent proportions, and 2, solve problems by writing proportions. All right, so our properties of proportions is very, very easy, actually. So first we have to assume that A, B, C, and D do not equal 0. Because again, we can't do any dividing by 0. So our first property, which we'll just call property of proportions 1, says that the proportion A over B equals C over D is equivalent or the same as B over A equals D over C. And all you need to do is write the reciprocal for each ratio. So the ratio 2 over 3 equals 4, or sorry, proportion 2 over 3 equals 4 over 6 is this equivalent to 3 over 2 equals 6 over 4. Property of proportions 2 says A over B equals C over D is equivalent to A over C equals B over D. So for this one, all we do is switch the means. 2 over 3 equals 4 over 6 becomes 2 over 4 equals 3 over 6. And then the last one, property of proportion 3, A over B equals C over D is equivalent to A plus B over B is equal to C plus D over D. So for this one, you're going to take whatever's in the denominator and add it up on top on each side. So 2 over 3 equals 4 over 6 becomes 2 plus 3 over 3 equals 4 plus 6 over 6. So for our examples, all we're going to be doing is writing equivalent proportions. So example 1, it says to use the properties of proportions to write 3 proportions equivalent to 3 over x equals 4 over y. So proportion property 1 says all we got to do is write the reciprocals of each. So if our original is 3 over x equals 4 over y, it's equivalent to, I'm just going to put an arrow there, x over 3 equals y over 4. That's all you got to do. Those are equivalent. For property of proportion 2, that's the one where we switch the means. So our original proportion, 3 over x equals 4 over y, we're going to switch these. So our new equivalent proportion will be 3 over 4 is equal to x over y. And those are also equivalent expressions. And then property of proportion number 3. 3 over x equals 4 over y is our original. And this one is where we take what's in the denominator and add it up on top. So this is going to be equivalent to 3 plus x over x equals 4 plus y over y. That's all you got to do. We're not solving for anything, we're just rewriting. So example 2, use the properties of proportions to write 3 proportions equivalent to z over 2 equals x over 7. So again, the first one, our first property, we're going to just flip, write the reciprocals. So if our original is z over 2 equals x over 7, when we use our property, it's going to be equivalent to 2 over z equals 7 over x. Using the second property, our original is z over 2 equals x over 7. This is where we interchange the means. So this is going to be equivalent to z over x equals 2 over 7. And then using the third property, z over 2 equals x over 7 is our original. The equivalent expression is going to be z plus... Alright, so z over 2 equals x over 7 is equivalent to z plus 2 over 2 equals x plus 7 over 7. Alright, number 3. In the diagram, x over 6 equals y over 7. So x over 6 is y over 7. What ratio completes the proportion x over y equals blank? And then we need to say which property we used to justify our answer. So if our original is x over 6 equals y over 7, this is going to be equivalent to, let's see, they have x over y, which it looks like the only thing they've changed from the original is they've put this one down here, which means we need to put this one right up here. So this is going to be equivalent to 6 over 7. And the property that says we can do that, the one where we switch our means, is property of proportions number 2. That's all you gotta do. For number 4, parts A and B use the proportion x over 6 equals y over 7. What ratio completes the equivalent proportion? So again, we're working with x over 6 equals y over 7. Part A, we have 6 over x. So all they're doing from the original one is flipping it, finding the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of the second one is 7 over y. And the property that says we can do that is the first property of proportions. So we'll say property of proportions 1. Alright, and then number B, or part B, we have blank first, but the other part is y plus 7 over 7. So the way they changed that from the original is they added 7 up on top. And so we have to add what's on the bottom up top here. X plus 6 over 6. And the property that says we can do that, that's our third property of proportion 3.